All right, folks, good morning. All right, folks, good morning. All right, let's get started. Oh, sorry, where's my document? Here we go. All right, so for today, Thursday, February the 6th, 2025, we have the following information. All right, so unemployment, well, we had Challenger job cuts year over year came in. That's not a major report, came in weaker than expected, but, well, not even expectation. It came in negative, but there was no expectation. Unemployment claims came in higher than expected. Preliminary non-farm productivity quarter over quarter came in better than expected. Preliminary unit labor costs quarter over quarter came in worse than expected. At 10 a.m., sorry, at 2:30 p.m., excuse me, we'll have FOMC member Waller speaking. That will be a moderately important report. At 3:30 p.m., we'll have FOMC member Daly speaking. That will be a low impact report. So basically, as of right now, until we get to 2:30 p.m. Eastern, all the major reports have already come out. All right. So that being said, let's take a look at the market. Uh, Looking at the QQQ ETF. Let's see. Okay, so markets yesterday were mostly bullish. We were up yesterday, and it looks like the market's going to open pretty much where it closed yesterday. We did not find any good opportunities yesterday. There were stocks that were moving, but none of them really played out the way we needed. So we tried a couple, but none of them followed through. That being said, let's take a look at what's happening in the pre-market and see how things are going. So I have a decent list of stocks here, so let's just rocket through them. First up is ALLR. That is presently down 2.78%, so not down enough to qualify for our scan. So we're going to skip that one. Next up is APPS. That is presently up 22.05% on 3 million shares, and it's trading above $1 per share, so we can add that to our pre-market watch list. The symbol again is APPS. All right, next up is CJMB. That is currently up 39.76% on 2.9 million shares. It's at least $1 per share, so we can add that to the radar, CJMB. Next up is nope, not that one. IVVD. That is presently up about 20%, 17.6 million shares. It's at least $1 per share. We'll go ahead and add IVVD to the radar. Next up is LAES. Presently up about 21%, 13.4 million shares. It's at least $1 per share, so we can go ahead and add LAES to our radar. Next up is LIPO, which is presently, oops, I guess I put that in the wrong place. LIPO. Okay, that's presently up 160%, 38 million shares traded. It's at least $1 per share. So we'll go ahead and add LIPO to the pre-market watch list. Next up is NVIDIA. Okay, that's up 1.82%. So that means NVDL should not be up enough. Let's find out. Yeah, 3.37%. All right, next up is Peloton, PTON. That is currently up 18.7%, 3.9 million shares traded. It's above $1 per share, of course. Peloton up due to earnings. Next up is QNTM. That is currently up about 39%, 3.4 million shares traded. It's at least $1 per share. So we can go ahead and add that to our pre-market watch list. Symbols QNTM. Next up is RANI, which is currently up about 24% on 12 million shares. It's at least $1 per share as well. So we'll go ahead and add RANI to our pre-market list. Next up is RGTI. Oops, misspelled that. That's only at 0.65%, so not up enough. We'll move on. Next up is RNAZ. That's presently up 15%. 1.8 million shares traded. It's at least $1 per share, so we'll add RNAZ to our pre-market watch list. Next up is RXRX. That is presently up only about 3.5%. Clearly was moving a lot more before, but not right now, so we'll pass on that one. Next up is RZLV. That is presently up about 9.8%. 2.1 million shares are traded. It's at least $1 per share, so we will add that, RZLV, to our list. Next up is SGMO, which is presently up 9.5% on 1.1 million shares. And it's at least $1 per share as well, so we'll go ahead and add that, SGMO, to our list. Next up is SLXN. That's presently up 9.49% on 4.3 million shares. It's at least $1 per share as well, so we can add that, SLXN, to the list. Next up is SMCI. That's only up about 2.8%, so not up enough. And Tesla is down 1.48%. Okay, so that means, oops, TSLA, wrong one. Yeah, that won't be enough. All right, so that's all the stocks that I see. SMCI is the last one. I'm sorry, not SMCI is not added because it didn't move enough. Sorry. So if you see any other stocks other than the ones already mentioned that meet all four of our criteria, let me know in the chat. I just posted them right there. We're looking for a NASDAQ listed stocks. No problem. NASDAQ listed stocks that are trading at least $1 per share in the current pre-market session. Also, they must have achieved at least 1 million shares of pre-market volume and at least a 6% price change, which can be positive or negative. So if you see any other stocks other than the ones already mentioned that meet our four criteria, let me know in the chat. We'll take a look. All right, so we'll wrap up for today's session, for today's pre-market pulse. Please be sure to like the video. I see we have 8 likes, but more than 8 people watching, so please be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you get notifications. If anyone's watching this video on a replay, if you're not familiar with our company, check out fundertrading.com, our website. There will be a link in the description to this video. Other than that, for everyone's part of the coaching program, I'll see you there in about 22 minutes, and we'll pick up for today's session. Okay? All right, folks, have a great trading day, and I'll see you for tomorrow's pre-market pulse. Take care.